Today, we're not really digging into ancient history. Instead, we're digging into the formula that makes ancient history go viral. We've gotten our hands on the playbook for creating those super popular videos about archaeological mysteries, and we are going to break it all down. It all kicks off with this one simple question. This, right here, this is the engine. It's not just asking for facts. It's basically challenging your entire worldview. It's a hook designed to create this feeling of doubt, curiosity, and maybe even a little bit of, whoa. So let's be super clear, this isn't about Göbekli Tepe or the Antikythera mechanism themselves. It's about how these incredible discoveries get packaged into a story so compelling it's, well, almost impossible to click away from. So, you ready to see how it's done? Okay, so the source we're looking at is this super detailed script for a 30-minute YouTube video. And it's a complete formula. I mean, it's engineered from the ground up to grab your attention, hold it, and turn it into clicks and subscribers. And the strategy kicks in before you even press play, right there in the title. Just look at these examples. They don't just tell you what's in the video. They promise you a revelation. Shouldn't exist. Rewrote human history. Can't explain. Each one is like a carefully chosen key designed to unlock a very specific kind of curiosity. All right, so once you've clicked, this whole video formula says the first minute and a half is basically do or die. We're not talking about easing the viewer in here. This is all about creating an immediate tension that you just have to see resolved. And the whole point of that hook is to kind of shake things up. It's designed to gently, shake the foundations of what you think you know. It creates this gap in your knowledge that your brain just has an urgent need to fill. It's a seriously powerful psychological trick. And here's how they do it. The method lays out the ingredients like it's a recipe. You start with that big provocative question we saw. Then you throw in some quick, mysterious clips to set the suspenseful tone. You mention places people have definitely heard of, like the pyramids, to ground the mystery in something familiar. And then you land the punch, a bold claim that challenges everything. Okay, so after the hook gets you all riled up, the main part of the video kicks in. And its whole job is to deliver on that big promise by throwing a bunch of seemingly impossible artifacts at you, presenting them as evidence that our history books might be missing a few pages. And the playbook says you should lead with a real heavy hitter, Göbekli Tepe, this massive Stone Age temple in Turkey. It's the perfect place to start because the core facts about it are, on their own, just absolutely mind-blowing. And this is where things get wild. Over 11,000 years old. Just think about that for a second. This place is older than Stonehenge by thousands of years. It's older than the pyramids. It even predates what we thought was the beginning of civilization itself, agriculture. And this is the key move. The video doesn't just give you the facts, it turns them into a weaponized question. By framing it like this, the discovery stops being just a historical site. It becomes a paradox, an anomaly, that the standard history story really struggles to explain. All right, let's move on to the next piece of evidence, the Antikythera mechanism. It's an ancient Greek device, often called the first ever analog computer. So if Göbekli Tepe was a puzzle about when something happened, this one is a puzzle about how. So on one hand, you have this incredibly complex astronomical calculator from ancient Greece. And then, crickets. Nothing even close to this complex shows up for almost 2,000 years. That visual gap on the screen, that is the story. It's such a powerful way to show, not just tell, why this thing is so shocking. And here's a line straight from the script itself. It's a deliberate, calculated statement designed to really hammer home that feeling of impossibility. It's not just old, it's like it's from another time entirely. It feels out of place. So you see the pattern here, right? The whole point of this formula is the rhythm. It just keeps stacking these cases, one after another. You get an artifact, Göbekli Tepe, Antikythera, the Nazca Lines, Petra, and each one is framed as another crack in the foundation of what we thought we knew. The cumulative effect is designed to just feel overwhelming. Here's another perfect example of the technique in action. You have the basic fact, there are giant drawings in a desert, but the script's angle? It's the speculative question that hints at an audience that could fly, way before we had airplanes. It pivots from the what to the mysterious, unanswerable why, and more importantly, for whom. Now, after hitting you with all this evidence, the video structure makes a big pivot. It zooms out from the individual artifacts to ask a much bigger, more profound question. And this is where the stakes get raised for you, the viewer. And there it is. That's the climax. This question totally changes your role from just a passive viewer to, I don't know, a co-conspirator in this massive mystery. It implies that these artifacts aren't just one-offs, but maybe the tips of a giant, hidden iceberg. And to really ramp up this final act, the script suggests talking about these bigger ideas. It's not just about a statue or a ruin anymore. It's about the possibility of entire lost chapters of human history, hinting that maybe the greatest discoveries are still out there, waiting to be found. And finally, we get to the business end of this whole viral formula. The mystery is set, you, the viewer, are hooked, and now it's time to turn all that curiosity into something the platform can actually measure: engagement. A call to action, or a CTA, it's really simple. It's just a direct request for you to do something. And in the world of viral content, a strong CTA is every bit as important as a strong hook. And the outro in this playbook is just a masterclass in getting things done. First, it makes it personal by asking for your opinion. You know, people love to share what they think. Second, it gives you a super clear, simple command. Comment below. No ambiguity. And third, it promises you'll get more cool stuff in the future. It's a perfect little engagement loop. So, after breaking down this entire formula, we're kind of left with a much bigger question, aren't we? This storytelling engine, it's incredibly powerful. It literally manufactures wonder, sparks real curiosity, and builds this amazing narrative that's hard to ignore. It taps into that deep down desire we all have for mystery and for stories that are bigger than us. But it also forces us to ask, in this race for engagement, for the perfect story, what happens to the messy parts? What's the line between sparking curiosity and creating a narrative that's just so clean, so perfect, that it ends up hiding the complicated truth? It's really the central tension of our digital age, and definitely something to think about long after you've closed the tab.